Hi, friends, it's Hannah, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a metallic rusty finish on anything paintable. I'm using a statue that I had in one of my guest bathrooms, and although I love the statue and I think it's beautiful and I love the detail on it, I'm not that crazy about the color. It's just a plain brown statue. So I'm going to transform it into a rusted metal finish. I use sophisticated finishes, iron metallic surfacer, and the beauty of this paint is that it actually has bits of iron in it. So it has small iron filaments within the paint. The metal surfacer requires 2 coats of paint. You're supposed to apply the first coat of paint, allow it to dry completely, and then add the second coat of paint and allow that to dry for 18 hours. I was in a hurry, so I dried each coat of paint with my heat gun. And once the second coat of paint was dry, I used the Rust Antiquing Solution Oxide and I just brushed it liberally all over the statue. I went from head to toe and I wasn't too careful about it. I just brushed it on, and if I saw a spot that was dry, I went back and brushed it on some more. I wanted to get a very rusty look, so I added it everywhere, and I was completely surprised at how quickly the oxidation began to take place. It was almost immediate, and the best thing about it is that this is not a faux finish. This is an actual rust finish. The oxidation occurs over the metallic pieces in the paint underneath it, so it looks like you have left this piece out in the elements and nature has taken its course, because the only place where the oxidation occurs is where it finds the metal the metal pieces inside of the paint. So it doesn't give a complete makeover. It looks 100% authentic. It is more rusty in some areas and there's a lot less rust on other areas, and if you want to add just a little bit more, you can try to bring out some more rust by adding just a little bit more of the oxidation liquid, but the outcome looks like you have a solid piece of rusted metal, and it could not be more beautiful. I am so pleased with the way that this piece came out, and I love this product. I will be using it a lot more on future projects. And this is still while the oxidation is taking place. And this is after the piece is completely dry and all the rust has completely oxidized on the piece. And I think this statue really looks amazing now. Isn't it beautiful? I'm bringing it up close so you can see the details and see where the rust adhered to it and where it did not. It looks completely natural. This brown resin piece has been completely transformed to a very high-end piece that looks like a heavy piece of metal that's rusted. I decided to add some florals to the top of this piece. So I picked a swag that I had purchased at Michael's, and it had twigs and florals and greenery on it, and I just bent it around into a circle. And then I had two other greenery stems that I had purchased at Michael's last year, and they were picks that had greenery, and they also had branches on them. I only had two, so I placed one on the left hand side, right underneath the wreath that I made out of the swag. And when I was finished and happy with the way that it looked on the left hand side, I took the second piece of greenery with the branches on it, and I did the exact same thing on the left hand side, right beneath the green swag that I had turned into a wreath. I just tucked it underneath and adjusted the branches and the florals until I was completely happy with the way that they looked. And next, I had a beautiful, large blue ceramic bird that I purchased at the thrift store for $3.49, and I placed her right on top of all of the greenery. And the next thing that I did is I turned it on its side to make sure that there was no holes in the piece and that it looked pretty from the side. And then I turned it to the back and I did the same thing. I readjusted branches and florals and stems of flowers and greenery until I was happy with the way that it looked, because I love this piece so much now. It's going to be a centerpiece on my dining room table. I absolutely love the way that it turned out. And I so enjoyed making this project for you. And I hope that it inspires you to make something beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until then, I will see you next time.